Welcome back to Proxam, everybody, and today we're going to be talking about the new upcoming 40K series that is going to be directed by and starring Henry Cavill, and it's going to be on Amazon Prime at some point in the near future. So, quick disclaimer, I am not in any way trying to boost Amazon or boost any, particular company, but I wanted to make this video in an effort to kind of bring attention to the series that is going to be coming to the platform, because as many of you have, I have a great interest in anything media related to Warhammer 40K. So whether that be a movie, whether that be a TV series, whether that be a cartoon or anything like that, some sort of animation, I absolutely love 40K content. Like most of you, I have watched a lot of YouTube content from content creators that have created stuff like that. And I have to say, I've always been a huge fan of all the video games and things like that in the 40K universe. I absolutely love them. And I wanted to also talk to you guys a little bit about something else about this series that I think we can really kind of push forward in an upcoming poll, which I'll talk to you about at the end of the video. So what we're going to be doing in this video is we're going to be just talking about the new show a little bit and possible directions that it could go. We're going to be talking about the case to be made for an Eldar appearance, which is kind of how it ties into this channel. And we're going to be talking about signing the petition that I've created in order to get Eldar an appearance on the show, hopefully, to draw some attention to it. So what is this show, and what are some of the possible directions that it can take based on what we know so far? So the upcoming 40K show is going to be directed by Henry Cavill, who's going to be the executive director, and he is also going to be playing a role in the series. And I don't know about you guys and how much you guys know about Henry Cavill in general. I actually didn't know this for a long time, but he's actually somebody who has been into the hobby basically as long as I have. He's been playing since he was 10 years old. I've been playing since I was 8. A lot of you guys have probably been playing for a long time as well, and he is a big fan of the 40K universe and stuff like that. So awesome to see him actually taking part in something like this. It's always great to have a Warhammer fan directing something Warhammer. It does mean a lot to the community, and it also means that it's probably going to be pretty good. I would have my doubts if it was just another Hollywood director that maybe didn't even know what Warhammer was before he started on the project, but it gives me a lot of confidence that it is Henry Cavill, who's read a lot of 40K books, plays Warhammer 40K himself, has played since he was a young boy, and has a continued interest in the hobby itself. So I don't know what the plot is going to be about, but rumors are suggesting that it's either going to be based on the successful Eisenhorn or Gaunt's Ghosts novels. I believe both written by Dan Abnett. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're both actually written by Dan Abnett, who is probably the best writer of 40K novels in the Black Library. Absolutely great books. And even though they, are about Imperial Guard and Space Marines, and not really Eldar, I think Dan Abnett's talent for introducing other aspects of 40K without overwhelming the reader with a lot of the background is just absolutely amazing. Love his series. I could talk about it forever. And maybe there's going to be a possible collaboration with Dan Abnett. I wouldn't be surprised if Henry Cavill and Dan Abnett call each other up and collaborate on what's going to be in the show, which would be absolutely awesome. So Dan Abnett, one of the best 40K writers in the world, linking up with a creative collaboration with Henry Cavill, who is the most notable and arguably the most talented actor within the, 40K kind of fandom. So I think it has nothing but success in its future. I really don't think that it has much room for failure. Now, obviously, just like all series, directed by, well, not directed by, but, produced by Amazon, it may have a little bit of things here and there that, could go wrong. But if you really look at it, I think that with Henry Cavill as the director, he is somebody that cares deeply about the lore and respecting the, writer's basically integrity of the books and of the novels and things like that. He was very respectful of the Witcher lore, which is why, or I should say, one of the reasons why he actually stopped acting in The Witcher. If you know about that little bit of controversy, you can check it out online, read it somewhere. But basically, The Witcher is also a game I've really liked. I really liked the series for the first season, And I guess they strayed really far from the lore, which I kind of saw a little bit in the show myself. And Henry Cavill, I guess, didn't really want to continue that if that was going to be the direction. Or so I hear. But what that tells me is that in this series, as, Henry Cavill is the director, he's going to have a lot to say about what the direction of the story is and how true it is to the lore. And I think he's someone who respects that. And thus, I do think it's going to be a very good series, especially if there's some sort of collaboration with Dan Abnett. So you may be asking yourself in this video, well, Proxy Hammer, why are you doing a video on this if this is mostly going to cover Imperial stuff, if this is going to cover Imperial Guard or Space Marines? You're an Eldar content creator. And yes, that's true, but I do think there's a case to be made for an Eldar appearance. So Eldar actually appear in both the Gaunt's Ghosts and Eisenhorn novels to a pretty significant degree. I mean, there's, a whole chapter in one of the Gaunt's Ghost books that is dedicated to the Eldar and their interaction with the Tanith First. And I think Dan Abnett especially did a really good job capturing the essence of the Eldar aspect warriors that he was portraying in that book. And also, Eldar generally appear in or before the most cataclysmic and fateful events, as their prophetic nature allows them to see into the future to prevent catastrophe, which can also be a very powerful and intriguing plotline in the book, or the new series, I should say. And also, Eldar are just incredibly awesome adversaries if you think about it, right? They have sick alien technology. They have incredible reflexes, right? And they absolutely look awesome, right? And this could be something completely different, completely unique to a series, a 40K series or a science fiction series. They look very unique compared to the relatively average-looking Space Marine or Imperial Guardsman. Let's be honest, how many science fiction series or movies have we seen out there with a quote-unquote Space Marine-like looking person or soldier? We've seen a bunch of them, right? Halo is a series that they've had on TV where you have Spartans who basically look like Space Marines. And you have many other series out there, either game series, movie series, or movies or TV, which have a Space Marine-like character. So even though there are unique aspects to Space Marines, I think having something a little bit different as an adversary or an ally would be extremely awesome. And again, Eldar are very unique looking. I think they add a lot to any kind of scene that they would be in, right? They're very imposing creatures. It's weird to call them creatures because they're people, but they're just not humans, right? So they're elves, essentially, space elves. So I think they would make a great addition to the series in pretty much every way. And I could even see, a few scenarios where you have the might of the Space Marines being kind of complemented by the speed, agility, and prophetic nature of the Eldar in ways that make for a really good battle scene, right? Just consider this. Consider, even just Imperial Guard, by the way, and consider Imperial Guard troops or Space Marines fighting alongside these highly advanced aspect warriors or, rangers, where they're very agile, they're very quick, and they have really advanced and cool alien technology that, basically can kill their opponents in a lot of unique and awesome ways. Bolters are awesome, exploding torsos are great and everything, but what about the, shuriken catapult that can slice an enemy into ribbons or, slice their throat just so precisely, you know what I mean? I think there is an aspect of that is needed and would be a great complement to anything that is already in the show. So again, I think there's a great case to be made for Eldar appearances. And if they're really going off of the Eisenhorn and the Gaunt's Ghost novels, Eldar do make an appearance in that. So it's not really against the, books or anything like that. It's not against the lore to have Eldar participating side by side in some way to Imperial forces. For their own designs, of course, like all Eldar. So this is my call to the Eldar community, and I know, I'm not a big content creator on YouTube or anything, but I'm hoping to get a lot of signatures. I think I already have like 50 or something like that on the petition. I will put the link in the description and the pinned comments, but basically on changeit.org, I think it's called changeit.org, but basically I'm trying to create a petition to get Eldar an appearance on this new show. So I'm trying to generate enough attention so that it catches the eye of somebody that's working on the show and they make that suggestion of, you know what would be cool? Let's dedicate a couple of episodes to Imperial interactions with Eldar, or let's make Eldar an adversary in an episode, or let's, have an Eldar ally attached to our group of heroes or something like that, right? So I think this would really boost engagement with the Eldar on the tabletop and also bring the faction's popularity up as well. Which, as a hobbyist and as somebody who plays the miniature game, this means more sales for GW, more Eldar sales, which converts into more miniatures. More popularity means that, GW is going to spend more time thinking about the Eldar miniatures and stuff like that, updating some of the models in their range, more rules updates, etc. And we'll be in a lot better position. And I think this is a really great opportunity to help highlight the Eldar in popular media. And honestly, they're really cool, and I could see them being really popular in the show. Who doesn't like the enigmatic alien race that is super quick and has really highly advanced alien technology and shuriken catapults and Ranger long rifles and everything like that, right? And who doesn't like howling banshees, am I right? So, there could be, a lot of room for a lot of cool stuff in this series in regards to the Eldar that could be very successful on the big screen. So if you've made it to the end of this video, consider signing the petition. Doesn't cost any money whatsoever, just takes a second. Just click on the link, sign the petition. You can write a comment. Hopefully we can generate enough interest that it'll catch somebody's eye. And again, the goal is to reach 100,000 signatures. Do I realistically think I'm going to get that many? Absolutely not. Probably not, unless, Auspex Tactics picks this up, or, Craftworld Eldar picks this up or something like that and helps me spread the word. But if you guys do have some extra time, and want to send the link out to other people to sign the petition, please do. I think, I think this could be a really great thing for the Eldar community. We are an underrepresented community in the in the 40K community as a whole. And I think being in the show, being seen by millions of people, will really help generate more interest in the faction. All right, everybody. And that's going to be it for today. Please sign the petition. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Here are my plans for the next couple weeks. I just learned about the new Warzone drop, so I'm going to be looking at that and making a video on that very soon. That's going to be my priority, is just kind of going through that and maybe some of the things that the Craftworld Eldar benefit from or maybe don't benefit from the new rules drop and rumors and things like that. Although I think these rumors are pretty official. So even though we don't have the full picture, we do have some stuff, like there's a new super detachment that I want to go into. I'll have to look at that. But I'm basically wanting to do that, and I'm also going to be doing that Imperial Guard video covering one of my games against them. So anyway, I will see you guys later. Have a good one, everybody. Peace out, and as always, leave a comment in the comment section if you do have any questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them. See you later, everybody, and happy holidays.